Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm inside of my enclosed trailer and I noticed that I got some light coming in around the roof vent cover on my enclosed trailer. We had a lot of rain to move in the area and I had to put a bucket down just to catch the water that was coming through. So in this video, I'm going to attempt to replace the lid. It's a RV vent lid that I actually picked up for my enclosed trailer, and it replaces the broken roof vent that goes on the top of a camper or an enclosed trailer. So stay tuned to this video and I'm going to attempt to replace the broken roof vent on my enclosed trailer. So let's get started. So far I've taken out one toward the front, another screw toward the rear, 4 Phillips screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I need to take out the screw that's in the handle to drop this screen. Drop out that Phillips screw. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. I had one here in the front toward the screen, or in between the screen and the frame, and another here, and 1 screw that goes through the handle. That just comes right off. You'll see some of the water dripping. I'm going to take out these 2 screws out of this crank handle. There is one. And we're going to get the second screw. So now see if we can open this thing up. Slide this out. Okay, so now that mechanism is free. Okay, that mechanism is free, and now I need to go up top and take out the slide for the hinge. This thing is all deteriorated. I'm gonna grab some needle nose and see if I can slide this out. I'm gonna take my needle nose pliers and reach in, see if this thing will slide out. I think it's just broken. Looks like a little metal tab is on there. I'm gonna bend this forward and that should slide right out. And there you go. To slide it out, I had to bend this little tab in order for this to slide through the hinge. So we're gonna open up this replacement RV vent lid. So as you guys can see, it looks identical to the broken lid. Everything is the same. So we're gonna go back up top and slide this thing back on and reassemble the vent lid cover. So to put this thing back in, I'm gonna take this hinge and slide it back through, and then once I get it back through, I'm gonna bend that tab. That little tab, I'm gonna bend it. So I'm gonna just gonna line it up. So it kind of hooks in like that. So it goes in. I'm gonna stand it straight up and line it up and kind of tilt it and then turn it, push it through. And to lock this thing into position, I'm just gonna bend the tab. Just gonna bend that tab. That way it doesn't come off. So I'm gonna bend this tab. Flip it around. And that goes straight across the top. But the way they have this bracket on here, this bracket needs to be flipped around to the other way. This is not going to work. This bracket is actually backwards. So when you take your crank handle to lower it down, this thing is in the way. If I look at the old crank handle, it's like this, where it looks like they mounted the slider upside down. So whoever put that slider on actually put it on upside down. So I'm gonna have to go back up top, take this thing back out, drill the bracket off, remount it, and put it back on the trailer. So if we look at these lids, the replacement lid, this plate is actually mounted upside down. This flat part needs to be toward the roof. So whoever mounted these plates actually mounted them upside down, because when it's time to put the crank reel back, this bracket is actually upside down. If you look at the broken lid, you can see that this flat piece is toward the top. So this is not in the directions, but I'm gonna have to take out these pop rivets, flip this thing around. That's the only way I can get it to mount back on the trailer in the proper position. So whoever configured and mounted these brackets onto the replacement lids, they actually put them on upside down. So to take this thing out, I'm gonna have to get a drill and drill out those pop rivets. To put them back, I'm gonna use my pop rivet gun. If you don't have a pop rivet gun, you can just use some small screws and some nuts to put that back. A good installer must always be prepared to improvise. So I'm gonna drill out this pop rivet on the lid. That's one. straight through that hole on the side. There we go. Remove that rivet. So now that I have the rivet out, put the plate back just like the plate from the original lid. I want to make sure that that flat piece is at the top. So with the hinges toward the rear, take some rivets. Good installer must be prepared to improvise. So even though when you buy this stuff brand new, everything is not always assembled correctly. Sometimes people may be in a bad mood, they may be under the influence, and most of the times you can find that doing the work yourself is better than the actual installers or the assemblers. So anyway, I got my pop rivet tool. I'm going to take the pop rivet, Okay, there's one. Turn it around. Squeeze. Now that lid is mounted onto the bracket. So you want to make sure that the roller goes opposite. When this thing rolls down, that's up and that's down. So I'm going to take it, stand it up, feed the roller through, slide it into position, and now I can put back the 2 screws. Just to make it faster, I'm going to use my drill, turn down the torque setting. Put back my 2 screws inside of the crank handle. Verify that everything is tight. I'm just going to take my crank handle and just make sure that everything is properly connected. This up. And that is down. Okay, move the crank handle. And now I can put back the screen, slide it into position. I'm gonna put back the crank handle first, just so it can hold up the screen. So I'm going to take my screw, put it back to the crank handle, and that'll hold the screen up into position without over tighten it. And now I can put back the screens, and now I can put back the screws that are in between the screen. There's one. Put back the other screw. Now I can take the remaining Phillips screws and put those back through the bracket. That's one. That's two. That's three. One more. That's four. Now I can just check the tightness, make sure everything is nice and tight. Hand tighten. Everything is nice and tight. Check all of those screws. Everything looks good. Now this thing is nice and tight. So as you can see, I got everything put back. I just had to take the vent lid back off and change the bracket. Apparently the installers put the bracket on upside down, so I had to just drill out the pop rivets and flip the bracket back to its proper position, and then replaced it with 2 new pop rivets. If you don't have pop rivets, you can just use some little screws and nuts. And that's the thing about these items that we purchase. Sometimes when they assemble these things, a person that's on the assembly line for some reason installed these things wrong. So a good installer must always be prepared to improvise. But now I've completed putting the vent lid back on, testing the crank lid. Everything looks good. Checking my fan. Everything is working perfectly inside of the enclosed trailer. And now I can stop all of that water from coming inside of my trailer because the lid is worn out. So let me know what you think about this installation of the RV vent lid, the vent line. Be sure to drop your comments down in the comment section below. I will leave a link if you would like to see how I actually install the roof vents for this enclosed trailer. Click that subscribe button, click the like button, and I'll see you guys a little bit later out here inside of the Caliente enclosed trailer. Thank you.